Hi, Aquarius. I hope you're all doing well. There's a lot of messages coming through, like quite a bit. And I'm feeling this kind of heavy energy. It's dense, it's thick, and it wants to make itself known to you. So perhaps you're feeling this too, or maybe you'll come across this feeling in the next 3 months. If so, you can come back to this reading. But I feel like there is something beneficial for you right now to hear with this energy that I'm picking up. There could also be someone around you who's feeling like this, and knowing that might help you navigate the relationship better, whatever relationship that is. But I think for most of you, this is about you. Now, the first message I got was so encouraging, and that is if you are having a breakdown or you experience a breakdown in energy, Spirit wants you to know it is a breakthrough. I got that loud and clear, breakthrough. So sometimes, when we're feeling despondent and in despair, we need to kind of see and follow what that feeling is telling us. We need to kind of sit with it for a minute, because our natural inclination is to try to break out of it. And sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes we do need to snap ourselves out of it and keep going and do something else and redirect our attention and not let that bring us down. That's for sure. But then there are also times in this life of balance, I'm hearing of in this life of balance and play, where we need to sit with a heavy or difficult emotion to see what it has to say, okay? And so maybe there is something playful that wants to come through in some kind of dense, heavy emotion for you. If you explore this feeling, it's almost as if something creative will come out of it, like a transmutation of the energy. So remember, it's a breakthrough, not a breakdown. Or, if you like, in every breakdown, there's a breakthrough. Then I got, are you saying yes when your soul is really wanting to say no? So this is an important time for you to consider what you're saying yes and no to. Are you trying to go with the flow and please people and not cause a rift? Or perhaps you need to stand up for yourself in some way and say no. It's okay to want to be by yourself at this time. And some of you need to exercise your no a little more, is what I'm getting. And then I got, do you expect others to say yes to you? Or are you okay with them saying no if that's what their soul wants? Okay, so something to think about. Then I got some specific stuff. This could be for someone in particular, or maybe it will resonate more widely. I don't know. But I got something about a school bus memory. Maybe there's something that stands out to you about your childhood and a school bus, or the school bus represents something significant to you. Then I got you get to decide what something is. A white dog. This was very prominent. I saw a white dog. And this is a symbol for you about protection and having a loyal companion who is kind of escorting you down a path that you're traversing right now. I also saw an alpaca, which is white. So there's something about white animals that is significant for you. And white is a symbol of light, of purity, of innocence, of illumination, of wisdom. So you could think about some white animals that you might come across and what they mean to you. I did ask specifically about love. I don't know why I do this with you, but I don't really do this with the other signs. I'm always trying to channel in some information about love for you. So maybe this is something that you're working through in this lifetime that's very significant, questions about love. And I saw the image of scissors, which initially I thought, okay, you're cutting cords. But as I sat with it more, it went somewhere else. And actually, Spirit was showing me something about precision. It's like when we use scissors, we're trying to be precise with where we're cutting or how much we want to cut off and keep to do something with. I'm seeing yarn here being tied. So there's something about measuring something out and then cutting it, being precise, getting something clear. You need to be decisive. Oh, okay, this makes sense because I got the card disorder afterwards. So yeah, so you need to get precise and get clear, decisive about something. And that's what the scissors are representing, that you can make some clear cut in your mind about what something is or about what you want. Then there was something also about the need to pinpoint a feeling. You could have this feeling in relation to love and you're not sure what it's telling you or what it even means to you. And there's like something in there, in that feeling that wants to be brought to the surface, some information for you or realization, revelation. Spirit wants you to pinpoint it with the scissors somehow. This is what's coming through. And then I got the question, what will you do with the excess? What will you do with the excess that's left over after you make the cut? Now, this is all very metaphorical. You might have to think about this, journal about this if you want. I mean, otherwise you could just click off. You know, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, it feels like, because as I'm talking about it more, my wheels are starting to turn. And I feel like this is your energy too. It's like something needs deep thought. You need to take a moment to have some deep thinking about your own thoughts or something that pops up in your life, or maybe about things that come up in this reading. What will you do with the excess? It feels like, Aquarius, you have a lot of love. And maybe this is why I'm always tapping in and channeling in love stuff for you. Because it's like there's a box here and you have so much love and you're pouring it into this box and it fills the box up, and then you still have excess. You have more love to give. And it's almost like a disappointment I'm sensing that the box that you're pouring your love into can't hold all of the love you have to give. It just can't hold it. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, what are you going to do with all this excess love that you have to give once you give it where you want, and then that fills it up? It's like you have more. Maybe this is something about like needing to diversify where you're placing your loving energy in different projects or in different friendships or people. I don't know. There's so much you have. And I feel like when you have this excess, it could feel like you're not being received in some way. And maybe there's just something else that you're meant to do with that energy or give that energy to. Okay, so those are the messages that I got in meditation for you. The cards that came out, disorder, and I'm working this month, this January month, although my readings are timeless, so whenever you see this, it could be for you, but I'm working with these shadow cards because this is the year of 2025. You're the first sign I'm reading for this Gregorian New Year. And I'm Roman, I'm hearing. The Roman New Year, okay. The real New Year is in the spring for me at least. But 2025 equals a 9, which is the Hermit card. And so for me personally, this is going to be a year I've decided consciously, I've made the conscious decision to go into the Hermit energy, which is a big deal, and find out what's going on within me and then hopefully come out with some additional wisdom. But who knows how it will go? You can't really plan what you're going to find on the Hermit's quest. And this is a message for you too. So I've decided to use these shadow cards for all the signs. And they're difficult. They're challenging because they're energies and emotions that come up from the shadow, which means that it could be difficult to confront some of these energies and think about what we could do with them. But the energy I got for you was sorrow and sadness. And sometimes we need to embrace the shadow. Well, most of the time, embrace the darkness, embrace the shadow in order to come into the light. And it has some writing on the back. I'm going to put what's written on the back in the description box below if you're interested to read more about this. But the questions on this card is, how often do I experience sadness? Who does my heart ache for? Why? What is this pain showing me? How can I help myself through this process? And I got these cards after I got those messages, so they seem very fitting for the energy I'm feeling. It feels like what's disordered right now for you is not knowing where to place your excess love and energy, not knowing what to do with it or where to make that precise cut on your path. And so working through that, trying to get really specific with something, or really pinpoint your emotions, or pinpoint what it is that you need and want in this lifetime, or even in just in this moment, will help you. Okay, I said that twice. So maybe it will help you twice as much as you think it will. Okay. Let's see the energies that are supporting you, dear Aquarius, and the energies that are challenging you, and then we'll get into the tarot. If you see things flying around, it's most likely cat hair, which is also on my lips and on my phone I'm seeing, and on my shirt. My cat was just in here. And it's white hair. Interesting. And there's something about the white animals. Okay. Yeah, so there's something about maybe your animal nature, your instinctual nature, your primitive self that does hold a lot of wisdom is going to make itself really known to you. It's going to come out in the environment too, maybe in your work environment or your relationships. You're going to feel that instinctual drive. This might be what helps you pinpoint something or make a take precise action, or come to some conclusion about something. It's your animal instinctual nature in some way. Forgiveness for the energy supporting you. Wow, that's a big one. We have the moon and the sun, which is balance. And usually when we want something to come back into order, like in the Justice card, we need balance. And here we have that depiction. So Spirit is supporting you with the energy of balance. You could also feel like a real vacillation or oscillation between the energies of masculine and feminine throughout the year, I'm hearing, where you feel like very assertive, that you want to take charge, that you want to do, produce. And then in the feminine side, at times you might feel like very yin. You want to go within, you want to be alone, you want to introspect, maybe you want to create, but you don't want to share those creations. So honor this, seeing the Two of Pentacles, honor this movement, this flow, this cyclical nature of balance, of masculine and feminine. And I feel like this forgiveness card is actually forgiveness to yourself. I don't feel like Spirit is asking you necessarily to forgive anyone, although you may, if that's what you feel guided to do, but it feels more like self-forgiveness. I forgive myself I forgive myself for not following through with what I wanted to do. I don't know, that's for someone. Maybe you resonate with that. But there's self-forgiveness here and the energy supporting you. And that's, when we hold a grudge with ourselves, it can really put a damper on our creativity, on our well-being and our ability to manifest and live our desired reality when we're constantly bashing ourselves and angry at ourselves, or again, just holding this kind of silent grudge. And so this year I'm hearing, okay, maybe these are going to be yearly reads. Okay, this year, like in January, this year you are going to release that feeling of holding a grudge with yourself. Okay, and maybe you don't feel that now, but it's likely it will come up at some point. And you're going to know how to release that. And this is beautiful because we have number 23, which equals a 5, and out came a 5 card, psychic development for your challenge. This is what Spirit's talking about. It's not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. So the challenge is to remember that any kind of breakdown, any kind of dissolution or something that falls apart and you feel like, oh no, that's not what I wanted, know that it's an opportunity for a breakthrough, for your psychic development. A white swan. Oh, look, and I have these swans here. Interesting. Maybe there's going to be some kind of union here. Okay, psychic development in your challenge. So Spirit is wanting you to develop your psychic abilities, and this is going to require self-forgiveness and being able to balance the emotions of masculine and feminine, so knowing when to rest and when to do, being kind to yourself, and listening to any kind of sorrow or sadness and what it's trying to tell you in order to bring something back into order. Let's see, what else do I have? Are you saying yes when your soul is really saying no? That could put you in a place of disorder. Okay, it just doesn't feel right. Things feel chaotic. Things feel like, you know that feeling. I had it not too long ago. I found myself just doing things I didn't really want to do just because I wanted to be in the company of somebody else who I like, but I didn't really want to do what we were doing. And I found like an internal kind of rift going on. Hey, this is not resonant with me right now. And so you might come across that feeling since I'm mentioning it, and you have to listen to that. Okay, because if you go ahead and do what you don't want to do just because someone else wants to do that thing, there's an inauthenticity in the connection or in the exchange of energy that is occurring at the moment. Okay? It's the excess again. What are you going to do with the excess? Your excess energy. Maybe take up something new to place your energy in that fulfilling container. Yeah. Some of you have an excess of stuff, okay? And you need to think about what you're going to do with that excess. Let's see. Let's go further into forgiveness. Bloom. Oh, beautiful. I like this picture. Sweet. There's a sweetness here. Forgiveness blooming within you. Self-forgiveness. I like the gesture of the hands. I don't know if that's a particular mudra. If you know, let me know in the comments. But it's covering the heart chakra. I like this because the hands are open, ready to receive. But there's also this motion of wanting to open the space of the heart chakra and feeling like you are guided, you are protected, and you don't have to wall yourself off. The white dog is with you, loyal companion, escorting you on a difficult journey. Okay, let's go in further to the challenge. Psychic development. What's this about, Spirit? Cave. Ooh, there's the hermit energy. Entropy at the bottom. Breakthrough, not break down. So you're entering the cave, or maybe you're emerging from it, depending on your perspective. And it is about your perspective. So which one are you doing? Like I said, I chose to enter into the cave, but maybe you're choosing to emerge with the sun. And so this could be part of your challenge, right? That's what Spirit said. You get to choose. You get to choose. Are you going in or are you coming out? What do you need right now? What do you need? What is your soul telling you you need? That's what you need to listen to. Okay, that's what's right for you. Psychic development does often happen in the darkness of the cave, however. When we truly know and understand what our own intuition feels like. When we're able to decipher what is our ego mind talking to us and what is a higher self coming through, guiding us. And we need to be still. We need to do some self-questioning along with self-forgiveness in order to identify the differences between the ego mind and the intuitive mind. And then sometimes, if we're really lucky, the two will be in synchronization. They'll be in agreement with one another. And when the ego mind and the higher self are in agreement, that is a place of massive internal evolution. But that requires self-forgiveness, going into difficult emotions, and asking yourself some hard questions. Okay, Aquarius, let's get into the tarot. Let me see, Spirit. What else does Aquarius need to hear? Beautiful Aquarius. Just gonna see what else comes through on the back of this card as I'm shuffling. says our sorrow can be due to a loss, a separation, disappointment, hopelessness, loneliness, or unfortunate life events. This deep heartache permeates our being, brings us to our knees, demands our attention, wants to be felt and acknowledged. It shows us how intensely we care about this world and the others. We need to look at the roots of our pain. And I'm not saying like you need to stop all the joyous, fun things that you're doing, but when the pain or the sadness or the grief or the, you know, the weird kind of, I don't like this feeling comes through, we need to ask it, what are you trying to tell me? Rather than saying, go away, I don't want to listen to you. You're ruining my day. Say, okay, it's okay that you want to come up and make yourself known to me, this feeling. What is it that you're trying to tell me? What is it that you have to say? I'm listening. And then you will hear what that part of you wants to say. Son of Swords in the south. Osiris we have as your overall energy. This is the Knight of Swords. So this is wanting to speak, wanting to say something, wanting to be heard, wanting something to be illuminated. The south node. So maybe this is about things that happened in the past or karma that you're still kind of figuring out like, hey, what happened back there? Okay? What you don't see coming, I'm going to get the rest of the cards out, but let's talk about this first, is the Mother of Stones in the west. I'm getting journey, west representing a journey, like a physical journey, going on some kind of physical journey. The Mother of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Spider Woman. What you don't see coming is that your talents, your skills, your resources even, your ingenuity, your intellect, your creativity wants to be acknowledged in a bigger way than it is right now. You've been weaving a web for a long time, okay? And you've been weaving a certain pattern, and this pattern you've been weaving has been pretty impressive. Kind of like jaw-dropping to some people. And it's like you're sitting in the center of this web. Look at this weave I've done, you know, look at this skill and talent I have, but it's like there's nothing in the web for you to eat, for you to be nourished with. It's like the web has been more for show. So maybe you've spent a lot of time on your career or outward expressions or trying to connect with other people or something outward, you know, maybe even your image, I don't know. But there's something really impressive that you've done. But there's something that's lacking fulfillment here. It's like you're just not catching what you need to catch, because it's almost like if you had the bug in the web that you need to eat to nourish yourself, it kind of ruins the whole look. This is what I'm getting. This is the vision I'm getting right now. And so you've been kind of saying, no, like just, it's okay. I don't need to eat that right now. I don't need that thing in my web right now because I'd rather it look pristine. I'd rather it look perfect. I'd rather, you know, this beautiful, intricate design I've woven to be seen by all. And maybe this isn't in a literal sense. This could be a part of your inner child. I don't know. Like there's some feeling here though. Or maybe it's a pressure that's been placed upon you to be like this by someone. And Spirit's saying, with this last part of the web that needs to be woven here, this is the time and this is the part of the web that you weave to catch what you need to nourish yourself. What is missing? What is missing, Aquarius? That to me looks like that would be the 11th house, actually. The 11th house, which you rule. And it's got like it looks like a tiny little man in here, or a person. right? If that was the birth chart, 10th, 11th house. But let's say 11 because that's the house you rule. So what do you need? So what you don't see coming is that there's something that your talents, your skills, and all of who you are, really your essence, your energy, wants to create just for you, just to fulfill you, not to prove anything to anyone or to make anybody else happy or to become something you've been told you need to become. This is for you. This is the balance of the moon energy. I feel like the moon coming in and saying, you know, we need to do something for ourselves here. Okay, let's see. Spider Woman. Beautiful. These cards are beautiful. I'll put the names of the decks in the description below too. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see. Wow. We have all four directions on the table, which is beautiful. And at the bottom, it says the power of earth. You're grounding something. Something's coming into form, coming into being. So the Son of Swords, we talked about that. But I feel like we need one card for clarification here. Tell me more about the Son of Swords. The anchor. You are anchoring something into your life for yourself. The anchor. I'm seeing that bug trapped in the web. And this is like a positive energy that I'm seeing. It's not like web in a negative or spider in a negative polarity. It's in the highest form. And it's like that bug that you catch, which is life, it's nature, it's process, you know, that's what happens. And we need spiders, right? And that's your anchor. Your nourishment is your anchor in life. Okay? What have you been putting on the back burner that you just really know you want to do or need to do? 27, 17 could be a number. I just saw that. It stuck out to me. What do you want to say, Aquarius? What do you want to say to yourself? What do you want to say to yourself? And then what do you want to say to someone else? Okay. So let's look at your opportunity. The opportunity is the 9 of Cups, fortune. That's great. When the 9 of Cups shows up in your opportunity, Spirit is saying the energy is ripe for you. It's ready for you to bring what you desire into actuality, to have it actualized, to have your vision materialize as something tangible. Your emotional outpouring into whatever it is that you want to become solid in your life is powerful. So pour out your emotions into what you want to happen in this life. And some of you need to pour out some tears, some sadness. Like it feels, but not in a low vibe way. It's like kind of profound. Like I realize this is what I really want for myself. And it's like just allowing yourself to realize that. And then to forgive yourself for not giving that to you for the longest time. And then crying tears of forgiveness for yourself and tears of realization. It releases some energy here. This is the overflow, the excess energy that I'm telling you you have here to give. So maybe that's part of it, to release some of that. It's like a relief. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with how you're feeling. Breakthrough. Okay, so your opportunity is to have a wish fulfillment, but it requires an outpouring of emotional energy in any form, whatever that form is to you that wants to come out and wants to come through. Because it's like if you keep something bottled up and bottled in, it somehow blocks some psychic development for you. Okay, it's like turmoil. Think about actual water in your body, and it's like in a little bit of a turmoil state. It's like there's disorder. It doesn't know where to flow, doesn't know where to go. And then once you have that outpouring of emotion, it like comes out of you, it comes through you, and somehow order is restored within. This is a powerful reading. So your challenge, mixed happiness, it says on the card, 4 of Cups. This is what I said made sense. Mixed happiness, because it's this feeling of like, I want to do this to be at peace with this person, or to just, for everything to just go naturally. Like my experience of being with someone, but not wanting to do what we were doing. You know, it's like mixed happiness. So that's the challenge. To say no when you really want to say no, and say yes when you really want to say yes. Don't confuse somebody else's desire for happiness with your own. Something might fulfill someone else's desire for happiness, but it doesn't fulfill yours. So there's something about that. And then there's also a message here about acknowledging that we are a complex organism, is what I'm getting. We are a complex organism with a wide array of emotions. No emotion is better or worse than the other. They're all ours to experience and to have and to do something with. Emotional energy is empowerment. Knowing your emotional energy and what it can do is where you can find empowerment, and you get to decide what you do with that emotion. The emotion itself isn't bad. It's the choice we make around it that dictates our karma, right? So that's what you need to focus on a little bit. Okay, I feel this way. I could sit in this doom and gloom all day, or I could be rageful about this and not listen to it and not do anything with it that's productive for me, or that that speaks to me. It's like I need to listen to this energy. Yeah, so there's something about listening to your energy, your emotions, rather than pushing them away or judging them. Like, oh, this is bad that I feel bad. Don't do that to yourself. I shouldn't be feeling bad. All of those judgments are just blocking you from psychic development. Instead, it's like, I feel bad. Let me sit with it. What's happening here? I'm listening. What do you want to say? That's the psychic development. Okay, 2 of Swords for your advice. Peace. The 2 of Swords is to sit in that place of stillness. And you know on the Rider-Waite how she's holding 2 swords like this across her chest. It reminds me of this gesture here. But this is an opening instead. So the advice is to sit still in peace. Pinpoint. Be decisive about what you want to do with your current emotional state or tomorrow's emotional state when it comes up. Try not to judge yourself. There could also be literally a decision that you're making, and you need to sit with it. Because your energy right now, Knight of Swords, is like you just want to bing, bang, boom, let's get this done, out on the table. Like, I can't hold myself back. But Spirit is saying sit with the energy first. Be still with it. Because it might be the case that more information will come through before you say something. If you take the time to sit with the energy. Okay, what's going to manifest, I guess, this year for you, but usually I say the next 3 months. We have the Knight of Wands in the east and the Mother of Cups in the north, the Queen of Cups. It says Venus of Willendor and Krishna. So we have the sun, we have swords in the south. We have stones in the west. which is Pentacles. We have Cups in the north, and which corresponds to the elements, and Wands in the east. But I'm kind of saying this to myself to figure something out. Hold on a second. So we have 2 Knights in the east and the south. Moving east-south, wisdom, karma. And then we have northwest, the feminine energy, mother energy, the queens. Which is your north node, expansion, journey into your north node. Yeah. So whatever decision you make, big ones this year and the next 3 months, and these big decisions could be emotional decisions. I'm going to do this with my emotion right now. They're leading you it's like to a secure sense of self. But I want more. I want more here. I want more information. I'm going to do an extended reading as well. In the extended, I go a layer deeper into this message and we see what else comes through for you. Link for that is in the description box below. If you don't want to come to that or you can't for whatever reason, then that's okay. It's perfectly fine. Just trust that you received all the guidance, wisdom, knowledge, information that you needed here. But I do want to get you a closing card to find out more about what's coming up for you. Mother of Cups, Knight of Wands. It's like, maybe it's a new emotion you're going to experience. One you've never had before. Will-o'-the-wisps, treasures hidden in the shadows. It's the treasure that you're going to experience, the treasure from your shadow. In the next 3 months, I'll say, because I don't like to look too far ahead because things can change, energies shift. But the next 3 months, something, if you take this advice of the Two of Swords and you sit still with your emotions and your decisions and you try to pinpoint what these things are telling you, what psychic information is ingrained in them, and you also practice some self-forgiveness, even if you feel like you forgive yourself, just ask yourself, is there something else? Something else I can forgive myself for? If you do that, then you will bring that treasure up to the surface in the next 3 months. And it feels like this treasure is an emotion you have yet to experience. And remember, I said every emotion has an energy in it, like a transformative energy, something you can manifest with. And it's quite soul elevating to experience a new emotion. Or maybe it's you're going to pinpoint an emotion. That's what I said at the beginning, right? And then you'll know what to do with it. Let's see. Treasures hidden in the shadows. The great mystery. Epiphany. Will-o'-the-wisp hovers in her luminescent glory above the twilight moors of your life, whispering for you to step into the fog, into the mystery, the unknown. You may have been visited by her before, but though intrigued, you refused her invitation. It would be safer, you decided, to remain on the journey you know. While you always have a choice as to whether to follow her or not, you never know when you might encounter her again. In this sense, turning away has its own consequences. Why is the known so appealing? It's only when you wake up to its restrictions, its soft prison or golden cage, that you realize there must be more, the excess, right? Will-o'-the-wisps has come to you once again to offer you magic, but you have to sacrifice certainty in the pursuit of adventure, your comfort zone for the dangers of discovery, the south node to the north node, right? Your well-trodden path for the detours that may well lead you astray, or will they? Can you accept that losing yourself will bring you closer to your true self? And by that, I think they mean losing our ego self, what our ego desires, and listening more to what our higher self is calling for, the true self. The profound shift of an epiphany can occur only when you risk the detour and enter the unknown. Now is the time to trust higher forces to lead you into this place, these worlds hidden at the threshold between what was and what can be. Here is where you will learn about your own unmaking, to unmask yourself, love what you discover, dark or light, see it all as divine, and find a quiet thrumming power waiting for you to channel it into the world for good. That's the transmutation of the emotion. The treasure you find, filled with the wealth of love and kindness, true prosperity, is ripe to share with others. She is here for you now. Will you accept her invitation? A great bounty of goodness awaits you. This is pretty powerful, Aquarius. And should you accept the invitation to go into this realm and do this work with the feminine energy of introspection, psychic development, and wisdom, know that I'm right here with you, because that's what I've decided to do for myself. So it's no wonder that it's coming through in this reading with me for you. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.